during the Second World War, the federal government sold war bonds to help finance the war. And you could get a war bond, I think it was $17.50 or $17.75, I can't remember.
You could buy a dining room suite for that.
And you get a $25 war bond that matured in 7 years. I guess they figured that the war would be over before 7 years. But anyway, I don't know how many denominations they had of the war bonds. I'm pretty sure they had $100 and maybe 1,000 or 10,000. I don't know, but $25 bonds was all I ever saw. And most of the kids, of course, couldn't afford to buy $25 bonds, so they had stamps. And you get a little booklet to put a stamp. The stamp costs 10 cents. And when you get that booklet full, you trade it in on a war bond. And there's a jingle that I remember most of the words to that they used all the time on the radio. Of course, they didn't have television back then. But I heard this jingle over and over and over. And I'm not sure I've got the words exactly right, but it goes something like this. Any bonds today for the USA? That's what I'm selling, yes, that's what I'm selling. Any bonds today? Rake up the most you can. Here comes the freedom man, asking you to buy a share of freedom today.
Did you have any?
Oh, yeah, I did.
We used to have little books that you filled up with signs, I think.
Oh, did
You take it to the Top Value store and get a lawn chair. Right,
Actually,
Or S&H?
S&A.
those bonds saved our farm.
They what?
Those bonds saved our farm.
Oh, really?
Grandpa
Wow.
bought a lot of bonds, and then Dad did too. And then when everybody died, and then when it was time for Mother and I to sell the farm, which was about 20 years ago now, I guess, we were able to cash the bonds and pay all the expenses of splitting the farm and all that stuff.
I guess there are a lot of people that made a whole lot of money off those bonds. They paid pretty good interest at the time. Yeah.
Well, we had it for so long.
Yeah. I think I had 7 or 8 bonds when the war ended, and I took them over to a bank in Maysville. That's where my father did his banking. And I've still got the little deposit book where I deposited them.
Of course you
Yeah.
do.
'Cause
Somewhere I've got it. Little leather deposit book. In fact, after the war, they kept selling the bonds, but they changed the name from war bonds to U.S. savings bonds.
Kagan, you have one of those.
And
Jimmy had two.
I had one of those taken out of my paycheck every month. That's how I got the down payment for this house.
Did you get a VA loan on this house?
Well, I did.
And why did we have FHA? I meant, did you get an FHA loan?
I can't remember what it was.
I thought that was why you
We
had to build the
started to buy the
driveway.
house next door, but we were gonna have to get 3 loans, and I said, So we bought this one. It was